I mean, it's obviously something to be aware of, but watching the film just like you would every single week is really where you get most of the information. But we know what type of play caller Daboll is, and it'll be interesting to see early in the game how he's calling the game.
Last year, while you were out kind of working your way back, you watched Trey come back. Matt Milano's a guy. You that first year you came in, you were here with. What's it like, where you're sitting, not knowing everything you went through last year in that spot, to now see those two guys have to kind of miss out on this?
It's just unfortunate. I feel bad, obviously, for both of them. Trey being last week and Lano going through it this week, and we all understand it's part of the game of football. We've been playing it for a long time, and we've seen injuries left and right throughout our whole entire careers, but it doesn't defeat the purpose that it sucks when it happens. Especially two guys that, very, 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 very big part of our team and of our defense, and just back-to-back weeks. It's unfortunate, sad to see, but at the end of the day, you got to keep rolling.
You look at the AJ Klein getting signed back to the active roster. Tyrel Dodson has a huge performance last week in relief. What can you say about that group? That's a lot of guys that have just kind of been around that are now going to be asked to replace Matt.
Yeah, I mean, they've had some playing time in the past, and even early on in training camp, stuff like that, just being asked to go out there and perform, make calls, and do all that type of stuff. So, we've always talked around here, next man up. I'm sure you guys are probably tired of hearing that, but it's the truth. Whenever someone goes down, it's next man up, and it's time to put that work in, watch a lot of film. They have guys like Poe and I, and to be able to bounce questions off of and watch film together. And, it's no excuse going out there on Sunday. You got to go out there and make plays.
Linebacker is different than safety in the secondary, but is there extra emphasis maybe with you and Poe with communication? Dorian's a young guy, even Terrell's a young guy. Christian's been here a little bit, to where you took, maybe not for granted, but you understood Trey knows it, Milano knows that. Is there an added emphasis communicating?
Always. That's each and every week. It doesn't, obviously you got some guys that aren't really as experienced as those other guys, but each and every week you have to get better at communicating. It's a tough task, especially home games. It's so loud. There's already been a few times this year where I'm yelling stuff at the players in front and they can't hear anything I'm saying. So I literally have to run up and yell inside the little hole of their helmet to try to get them to hear me. So, but communication is always something that you can get better at. You're never gonna perfect it, because you can always talk about what you're doing as a defense, but then on top of that, what the offense might be doing. So communication is always key, and it can always get better.
Jones' status is kind of up in the air this week. Does that change the preparation at all?
We're going to watch film as if he's playing, and we'll prepare accordingly. And I know Tyrod's a backup, also another guy that's we've been with in the past, and he can get it done also. So we're just going to watch film, whatever plays are on the screen. We're going to prepare for those players.
Micah, every game's tactically speaking like a chess match, but the familiarity with Daboll in there, and you know him, he knows you. Does that change the dynamic at all through the course of a game, do you think? Either way, I suppose.
I think early on, I think you'll be able to understand what they're trying to do. I think maybe throughout the game, possibly doing some things, knowing what we might be in scheme-wise, taking shots, all that type of stuff. We understand that could be the case. But really, it's the same thing each and every week. I feel like once you make it to the NFL, and you have coaches. We have Sean McDermott, obviously, as our head coach, has played probably every single offensive coordinator that we see multiple times. And obviously, he's been here with Dabe's coaching with him. But those coaching trees, they kind of all evolve, and you end up facing each other multiple times. So you got to watch games from previous years. So it's really, it's just like a common thing this week.
Whatever your tendencies are, Vic Fangio looks at him and sees them just as well as Brian Daboll does, right? I mean, he knows them just as much. Film.
Exactly, and obviously Dabes knows a little more personal, what Micah Hyde is as a player, and all that type of stuff. Maybe a little bit more than another offensive coordinator, but I think that if you watch enough film, you can really get that type of detail also from, if another offensive coordinator is watching film like that, yeah.
first primetime home game, do you, in your career, do you notice guys being like extra juiced before that, like the home game under the lights, or is it kind of the same?
For sure. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. I'm excited. Today's Wednesday. I'm not going to get too excited yet, but come Sunday night, guys are going to be ready to go, and it's going to be a fun experience. It's going to be a fun atmosphere for sure.
Mike, I've heard the coaches talk about putting things in quarters of a season. It seems like players don't. It's more week by week. But I was going to ask about the going to London. Did that almost feel like, regardless of the result, get past that because it was such a different week?
So happy that's over. So happy that's over. It was a fun opportunity. My first time going over there and playing in my 11 years. Never did it. I'm cool with never doing it again. Like I said, it was a fun experience though. That game's in the past. We're happy about that, but now it's week to week for sure.
Why the kind of the anti or don't want to do it again?
It's just, there's a lot going into it. You guys know we're all about our routines and stuff like that. We like to have a little schedule throughout the week, and for us, traveling on Thursday night, getting there super early, hardly any sleep, having to stay up the whole day. It was just, kind of threw us out of the rhythm. Not an excuse by any means. Other teams have obviously went through that too, but it just threw us off a little bit for our routine, and I'm not eager to ever do that again.